Hi and welcome to another Lincolnshire Fen Crafts needle felting tutorial. We're going to make these lovely penguins today. They're super easy to make. You can either use wool tops or carded wool. I'm going to be using these really nice wool tops, which are Jacob and a Corriedale top coat. You can add the embellishments later on if you want. Okay, let's get going. This is a really simple shape to make. And we're going to start off with our white wool top. I'm folding it and rolling as I go. I'm using a standard felting needle and I'm keeping it really firm as I'm rolling it. And I'm also tucking in those edges as well to keep it really neat. Keep felting at intervals with your needle, making sure that it's really firm. You don't want this wool to be loose because the tighter it is and the firmer it is, the quicker you'll get it felted. Don't worry too much about the shape though at the moment because this is going to be completely covered up. Just make sure that one end's flat that it can stand on and the other end is kind of ovally egg shape. If you want to use a multi-tool you can do, but it's not necessary, but it does speed up the process. And continue to shape, making sure that the base is kept nice and flat. We're going to make it a bit bigger now. So wrap some more wool around the middle part of the body and we're going to make our penguin nice and firm and a little bit wider because the baby penguins always are. Keep rolling, make sure it's kept nice and tight and keep that bottom flat. And then as you're turning and felting, if you want to create more shape around the top area, which is where the head's going to be, you can just use your needle at a diagonal angle, push down the sides, and then that way it really tidies up those top areas of felt and any loose wispy bits. Continue until you're happy with the shape. Have a little look all around. Give it a good tidy up. Again, use that needle at a diagonal angle and you can use the needle to pull that wool around the base of the penguin body as well, just to tidy it up. And just keep going until you're happy that it's nice and firm and you've got a good shape. Remember, you're going to be covering this up, so don't worry too much about it. Now I'm drawing a line around where I want the head to start. And when I say drawing a line, I mean just drawing a line with my needle. So this is where we're going to create the dark area for the head, and the line underneath is where the light grey colours for the body is actually going to start. And just make sure you're happy with the shape. Take your dark contrasting wool and just wrap that over the top and the back of the head, leaving the front visible. Don't worry about the lengths at the side. We're going to trim those, or you can pull them off as well, as long as you don't distort your wool as you're doing so. So just felt that on quite gently. Don't overdo it, but just make sure it's nice and firmly felted on. We don't want it to move around. And there we have the top part of the head. I'm pulling off some wisps here, but I'm also going to trim it just to get rid of any excess. If I pull too hard, I might pull all of the wool off. It's not an integral part of your project, so cutting it won't actually matter. Now I'm going to create that nice shape at the front. Just roll a little piece of the dark felt in your hand, just till it's quite loose, but kind of like a big seed shape. Keep one end loose, and you're going to attach that to the top of the head. Attach gently with your needle and then just pull over and down the face. Just gently tack it on, don't overdo it because we're going to shape those sides. Now continue to felt. Make sure that it's all nicely felted on and then hold with your finger and just push into the side of it, and you're going to create like a C shape so that you're creating that nice shape where the eyes are going to sit. Continue to felt, make sure you're happy with how firm it is, and just keep using your needle to create that shape even further. That's looking really good now. And then just go around the rest and just have a little tidy up. Your fingers are really good as well. You can use your fingers a lot to help shape your projects. They're really good tools. Okay, we're going to move on to the body now. Again, we're going to use my nice sort of grey, it's like a purpley grey cover to create that nice silky smooth shape that we want around the body. And as you can see, all those imperfections have now been completely covered up. If you work from the front to the back and try and do a lot of your felting at the back, that means that there's less visible needle marks at the front. But even if you have visible marks at the front, it doesn't matter. We can just smooth those out with our fingers. And then make sure that you're actually pulling the wool underneath the penguin so there's no visible joins. But if you need to, you can add another layer of wool just to tidy that up, because I can see some white on this. So that's what I'm going to do. But just tack that on, make sure it's nice and firm and it's not going to move around. Pull it underneath the penguin because we don't really want to see all these bits that are not quite perfect. And if it's sat underneath the penguin, it really doesn't matter. And just continue to felt, tidy it up and make sure it looks nice and neat. Now we're going to make the feet. You're just rolling up some of this wool that you used for the head. Just roll it really loosely, keep one end kind of loose, and then continue to pull that wool in. You're kind of making a circle or oval shape, but don't worry too much about the shape. Just get it sort of felted firmly, and then you can work that shape in a little more. But try and keep one end loose because that part is going to be attached to the base of the penguin. I'm using a nice piece of flat felt on the top of my mat there to protect it, as you can see. Attach it to the base so that the foot's visible from the front of the penguin. Attach the loose part and there you go. 1 foot, easy, done. And repeat for the next. Attach the loose part again. Make sure you're happy with the positioning and that's done. Onto the wings. Wings are really simple. You don't need a template. Just felt a teardrop type shape. Draw those lines into your wool felt. Pull it over with the needle and just start to firm up and felt gently and create that shape. And as you pull it over, the wool will actually stop where you've created that line and you'll see that shape start to develop. Continue to turn and felt until it's a length that fits with the body of your penguin. It doesn't want to be dragging on the floor. And if it's too long, just fold over the ends. You don't need to cut it or worry too much about it. Just fold over those ends and continue to felt until it's nice and firm. And then the side that's the tidiest that you've felted through to is all nice and smooth, and that will be the part that's visible. And then repeat for the next wing. You can create some shape, twizzle the ends if the ends are a bit scruffy, fold them over. You can create some shape with that wing by just pushing into the side of the wool. Just creates a bit more shape. And there you go. They don't have to be exactly the same, just very similar. To attach the wing, just pop it on the side of the body, fold over the top part and felt that underneath to the actual side of the body, and then you're just going to flip that wing over and then you've got a nice neat edge. Just felt it it wants to be really nice and secure, and you can come a little further down and felt it a little further down, and then if you want to create a sort of little kink in the wing, you can just fold it over. That will, because you felted it really firmly, that will just do it naturally. And repeat on the other side. Again, attach upside down, fold it over, and you've got that nice, neat edge. It's really, really simple. You're just creating simple shapes. And this can be done, you could do this in about 45 minutes, easily 45 minutes. There you go. So you've got the wings attached now, and that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to sew some glass beads on for the eyes because I just like the shine. But you don't need glass beads. You can just roll a little black piece of wool felt in your hand, just a tiny piece, and felt on the eyes if you don't have the glass beads. I think I'm using 4mm glass beads here with a hole in the middle. And you just pop them on top of your needle and sew through from one side to the other. Continue to do that until both eyes are nice and firmly stitched on. But like I said, you don't need the glass beads. You can easily felt these on as well. And then just finish by pushing your needle through to the back of the head. If the eyes have got a bit lost or a bit sunken, then just felt the area around the eye to tidy it up until the eyes are fully visible again. Let's do the nose. Again, the same colour that you've used for the top coat. A tiny piece, just roll it in the palm of your hand into a seed shape, so it's nice and firm. And then one end, loose end, poke into the side of the face until that holds. And then the other side, poke in as well with your felting needle. And then just tidy it all up and create that really nice sort of beak shape. It's a really simple shape, so don't worry too much about it. But this is how I like to do it. There's other ways you can shape it, but I find this works really well and it looks kind of cute as well. But if you're really not happy with it and you haven't got it right first time, take it off and do it again. It's worth making the effort to actually do it again if you're not quite happy. So I am now using a reverse felting needle. It's optional, but what this does is it pulls out all the white wool from underneath the top of the head, and it creates that really cute sort of fluffy look that you have on these baby penguins. And just continue to do that until you're happy with the fluffiness, the fluffy effect that you've got on the top there. Trim it nice and close to the top of the head. And you can see what a really nice effect it has. And you can also do that on the body as well. If you wanted to fluff out the body a little bit more, you could do the same, but I'm going to leave this one as it is. And then I've just wrapped a little felt scarf around. This is just craft felt. It's a little bit wide, so I'm just going to cut down there just to neaten it. Wrap that round the neck, and then where it crosses over, just use your needle to felt it into place, and that should hold quite nicely. And then what you can also do is you can add a fringe to the ends, which is just a really nice finishing touch. And then with this one, I've actually made some fish and a little rod there from a stick from the garden. And there you have it. Lovely little needle felted penguins, all ready for your display. And as you can see, you can make them in all sorts of shapes and sizes. If you want to know anything else about needle felting, then pop over to my blog guide, Ultimate Needle Felting Guide, over at Lincolnshire Fen Crafts, or the website. And if you want to see more needle felting tutorials from me, then make sure you just press the subscribe button down below. Thanks so much for coming.